Don Van Vliet, aka Captain Beefheart, one of the most enigmatic, iconic and ambitious artists ever to work in popular music. Over a recording career spanning almost 20 years, he reinvented the conventional song form and produced some of the most critically acclaimed albums ever released.
He's one of the most creative people I ever met. He was a total fountain of creativity. I still believe he's going to be one of the artists of the last century to be remembered, you know, because anything he touched turned to art, whether it was sculpting or painting or music.
With the ever-changing Magic Band transcribing his ideas and turning them into music, Beefheart's work went through various evolutions, and what started as raw blues became a far more unique form, Beefheart turning his back on rigid conventions and creating complex works pushing the boundaries of the rock genre.
Essentially, you have this very conscious artist, this genuinely talented artist, who's in love with this very primitive art form, which is the blues. And he kind of has to remake it for himself. He needs to do something that is much more fragmented and that takes its influences from the kind of white classical music tradition that the people who are listening to what he's doing and are enjoying what he's doing have no idea about. It's that process that essentially makes him both unique and an influence on anyone else who wants to be unique.
This is the story of Captain Beefheart and the Magic Band's music. From the groundbreaking debut Safe as Milk to their final album Ice Cream for Crow. A critical overview of one of the most idiosyncratic and important careers in the history of rock music.
Give me that old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. Don't give me no affliction.
Lancaster, California. A small town in the Antelope Valley just north of Los Angeles. It was in this town, bordering the Mojave Desert, that the future Captain Beefheart, Don Van Vliet, grew up. A gifted artist as a child, at high school he befriended lifelong collaborator and occasional nemesis Frank Zappa, with whom he shared a keen interest in music. In particular, the pair were devotees of blues and R&B artists. During the early 1960s, both became active in the local music scene. After a stint as lead singer in the Soots, an early Frank Zappa band, Van Vliet was asked to join an as yet unnamed group by their band leader, Alex and Claire Snoofer. They called themselves Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band, Don assuming the character name from a feature film that he had been developing with Zappa.
The band's inception started when Alex St. Clair came down from Lake Tahoe. He came back to Lancaster, and we hooked up again and decided to start a band together. So it started at that point, my mother and father's living room. They were crazy enough to let us rehearse in their living room. We didn't have to play in the garage. So we were a garage band that played in the living room.
Alex was the musical leader of the band as far as, okay, guys, you know, we got to do this, because Don had a little bit more trouble communicating things on a musician's level. He didn't understand how to communicate as well as Alex did. Alex could structure things and take what Don wanted to do and put it in a format that we could do it musically. And so he was kind of the director, the musical director. We played a lot of blues and R&B, and we were a lot like the Rolling Stones. They had a very similar sound, and our song list was very much like the